Alright, so as you guys saw, the CS is a little too much for the steering, even though I've added a little bit more steering to it. Anyway, so very simple. We'll do the Sakura front end on a Sprint 2. Really simple. You can buy the aluminum stuff from Sakura or even the plastic stuff. They all work the same. You will need the 2 wipers, right? The 2 carriers or the 2 C-hubs, right? Try and get the 10-degree one. 10 degrees caster is awesome because it'll just give you that much more flat wheel at lock, but that'll be a different story. And then of course you need this guy to carry your CVD. Now when you buy these, they come with this bearing, I believe, and then you buy the super or ultra wide CVD also from Sakura, and it comes with a bigger bearing, but it's very thin compared to the bearing that comes. I think these are the Sprint bearings. I can't remember. Anyway, what I'm saying to you is that the CVD bearing that comes with a Sakura ultra wide is thinner. And the reason why it's thinner than that one is when you throw it into the carrier, so that the hole for your pin, the hole for the pin will stick out. If you just have the thick one like this, right, and you throw that in there, the hole doesn't stick all the way through, so your pin can't go all the way through, which means the hex can't go on properly. Yeah, it took me a while to figure that one out. It's kind of weird. I was like, what the flip is going on with this nonsense, man? And why would they give you 2 bearings with this? Well, that's why. So you throw that on there, you throw that guy through here, so that this hole sticks all the way out, and you can throw the pin and the hex over it. Anyway, so you need those guys. And then don't forget the little post that screws onto your chassis plate. You need that. You know, if you don't have that in the 2 bearings, then you can't tighten it to your chassis. And then I highly suggest you buy a whole bunch of different little shims, right? Like 2 mils and 3 mils and so forth. Throw one on the top, run this button through the top, so it'll lock it down. It'll make it pretty solid. So there's 0 slop up and down that way. And then grab another shim so that you can lift it off the chassis plate. And the reason why you want to lift it off the chassis plate, if you don't, when this guy goes to lock, especially with the Sakura, it'll hit the bottom of your arm, and you can't have enough. You can't do that, right? It'll hit the bottom of your arm. You can't have any steering. So yeah, lift it off the chassis, and I'll show you in a couple of seconds, or when I do my magic tricks. It seems all the and poop, and it's all done, and then all of a sudden I have the pink stuff on. But anyway, so yeah, I'll show you more in a couple of seconds. So one crazy little thing that we have to do, a modification to make this assembly work smoothly like this. When I screw this screw in the bottom here, that little top hat that you have sticking out there has to stick out more, otherwise the screw won't snug onto the top hat. It'll actually snug onto the aluminum, which means every time you turn left and right, it unscrews itself, or it has resistance and it won't work perfectly. So you take a drill bit, right, try and find the right size that'll fit right in there. and drill it a little bit deeper, because there's quite a bit of flesh, if you guys can see that. There's a lot of flesh over here. So just drill it just a little bit deeper so that the top hat would stick out more, so when you screw the screw in, you don't screw it onto the aluminum, but you actually screw it onto that top hat. So the top hats are from your Sprint. You just take them out of your Sprint. You take the two top hats out. That ball end has a long thread. You take that off your Sprint, and this screw, once again, comes off your Sprint. It's nothing special. You don't have to go buy some weird stuff and it has to be this length and that is that. Nothing like that. So, very simple. I'll go drill it out real quick and I'll show you the results. So here we go. What I did is I drilled it out so that you can see how much more the top hat will be sticking through, so that when I put the button screw through here, it'll be, you know, like a little bearing. Okay, so that's my mission. So we changed the front end to the Sakura front end, and the last thing I spoke to you guys about is making this top hat stick out a little bit much more. So what I did is I changed it from this machine screw with a big head to a short or small button head screw, so it goes all the way in and it'll sink in there, right? Otherwise, there we go, there's the Sakura front end. Pretty equal steering, right? There's a lot more angle available than I have here right now. The only other thing you would do is put a formal spacer down in there, right, when you screw this in, formal spacer. And then, very simple, what you would also have to do is, because of the throw right there, you would have to move the servo out of the way so that this arm doesn't hit the servo. So yeah, probably move it a little bit further away, not a big deal. And then yeah, beyond that, it's now time for suspension work. So yeah, Sakura front end 2.0 counter steer kit that I sell, locked diff, and yeah, pretty soon I'll have to start showing you guys the suspension, which is next. Yep, thank you for watching. Take it easy.